We also got to think about it like this. Another reason why it is problematic for us to continue to rely so much on voting, elections, primaries, even the best candidates for the people who are the most honest, the most genuine, the most reliable, have the most integrity, the best character, all that. Jesus, let's say we got Jesus into Congress, right? At the end of the day, who is funding Jesus? Jesus is going to need a ridiculous amount of money to stay in Congress, to stay in power. A lot of us little people can donate as much as we can from our little pockets. But at the end of the day, what is that going to be like up against AIPAC and all the other super PACs out there, lobbyist groups, the NRA, all those different organizations out there with deep, deep pockets that are funding the candidates that are pushing their agendas? Those are the ones going up against Jesus. As long as that's the case, Jesus ain't gonna be there long. Jesus ain't gonna be there long because he's up against the devil with deep pockets. So, and I'm using these Christian analogies because I feel that's what a lot of people, even those who don't believe, can understand the reality of where we're at. And the fact that it is us little people going up against these big groups funding these problematic ass candidates. And even the, originally upstanding candidates, but then they get in there and they see what it is and they see how they have to stay and certain things that they have to go against and, do that they might have never thought that they would do, or, scratch certain backs that they didn't think that they'd have to scratch. Like many of us have never been in those shoes, so we don't know. But what we do know is that there's something in the system that is polluted. Either polluted people come into the system already polluted, or they get there and they become polluted, or they become tempted to become polluted, or they die out. Jesus ain't gonna be there long. Jesus ain't gonna be there long. It speaks to a larger thing and of one fundamental issue. There's numerous fundamental issues of what's wrong with our political system, but that is one of them that we have to face and grapple with, and part of what we need to solution against. And that is also why there are these other methods that people are talking about, like the economic blackout and all these other different ways we can resist on a more personal, individual, and community level that completely sidesteps the political system. We can still be doing that as well. I'm not saying give that up completely. Both things can be true. Let's do both. Let's, when the midterms come and whatever later elections come, even though the candidate options we have may not be the greatest, we'll cross that bridge and do what we need to do, check those boxes as we need to. But in the meantime and in between time, there's many things that we can be doing ourselves that does not rely on that, and is probably a lot more reliable in the greater scheme of things in the long run. It is a lot more sustainable. It will be a lot more effective in the long run.